Ghana spending over $35 million and yeah, they revamp this factory. But it is not working. Ebimu is a Kwame Nkrumah because raw materials are very far away from the factory. But no krebi o baby omudi see and me no ba bedin komo they are fast factory ho and you see from 1964 ABC early part of 1990. This is another episode of What's Up Today. I am now Dynamic.
He's about to go now.
Let's talk about Commander Sugar Factory. See, that is the biggest white elephant in the room because I am letting us have this conversation because it looks like NPP and MDC ubia with the interest. But when it comes to the broader picture, say that is where we seem to have a problem. Now, something happened from 1964 to the early parts of 1990. Now, this is the whole thing. In 1964, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah set up the Commander Sugar Factory. Say because of say na oye those industrialists oye na gin say obe set up a company yankasa ye betumi e de aboye ho bra. Eno ne ma okoye esa Commander Sugar Factory no. O make sure say it will run. Enti Sugar Factory no etimi run ya although Kwame Nkrumah e free so still na e run. In 1977, Commander Sugar Factory Emma country 270,000 tons of sugar. It wasn't a joke. So then it meant that now you were doing something right. Now, yemi say a day a year on 1964. A free hono, yetumi edenya 270,000 tons of sugar in 1977. And yemi say how were they running it? Because by then maybe a company we a one at that work. But then they were able to get the raw materials. So what changed? Because in the Nkoma ye di say you need raw materials. Nkoma ye di say operational cost a issue. Nkoma ye di say running it no unya ye kasi running biara ye be running aboka. So yemi say from 1964, what were they doing right? We had universities now students omo ko state farms eko kububu ahwede ni bi no mo de akwa feed some of the factories So in this case we had students university students omo na no mo take care of the company. But then the university students what do we see? Ubia white collar job. Everybody want to, when a whole week they organize na yashishi jama. So we seem not to get the best out of, the people who are around or our university students. So the biggest question is, how were they able to produce the kind of raw materials na Commander Sugar Factory here? 1977, plants it may generate 270,000 tons of sugar. You see, before Nkrumah, Nandrin said, Obe set up the Commander Factory ewo Commander o make sure say Obe take it into consideration baby that time na ahwede wo pa and that time na ahwede e Commander pa into or share raw materials na available then and all the year company because na dwumu ni hu na kire say so ya wo baby ahwede wo company ni mre so betimi anya raw materials and that is how leaders think. But in the early 1980s and a company say onya problems. Na problems ni nyina enye say bia machine say anase bibi sa dabi. Problems ni nyina ekokosi say ebusia omunya raw materials omu de be feed factory Also and the main reason why na omunya hwede ni biemu nto was because farmers no ebe feel say aban ne on ton aboden nti ahwede na nkasa no over force ya do ahwede but odi kokoma omo so omo mra beto anase omo ba so mba beto ebo na omo ton no. It wasn't nice. It wasn't good. They were not doing justice to the farmers. And the farmers they felt like, well, they're yemfrim, yenjai ahediano, yebetim de ayade fofro. I was in early 1990. ena guy and the it won't go to the baby because I heard an ankasakra in your beam farm factory no ena operational cost chale na ekano ya dosho so mo yes sanete dia unia yem parke mfidie no mu baby na 1990s hona ena omo hot operation next say ade anka ebetumi provide job to over 7,000 people no una ya parking it just like that because yenyanya obi a why na do say obe think outside the box yenyanya obi a why na do say obe invest in the farmers no say omo nua hwede ni bebre o dey say state farms kwa na onya omo ye no fesika papa to ho say ye beto ni yie nti say obi kwa akodua hwede a onim say look ye beto ni yie sanya ye to koko no ye beto ni yie sanya ye to cashew no ye beto ni yie ama nipa na ono no opre so obedua hwede no at least na koma to ni yem. We didn't have any leader na obetimi adwene outside the box until since 1990s ye commander factory no echo hot no ewusua ebesi na ye ntumi revive ni ye. Well yet one 2016 John Dramani Mahama ebeka say well because of Ankrata Yankobon fan ekransi His Excellency Professor JEA Mills can't get see of Mills inti unia oya say boka ko revive Commander Sugar Factory. And John Dramani Mahama before say office office no Okofa asika almost over 35 million chopamo Donald Trump dollars. Edeko shemu. O commission ye. O shema omo ye dan kama omo renovate ye. Edan ye na ye jan wo ho in 1990s no. Abusua in 2016. Oh, o ye dan kama. Ema wie kra na osan commission ye.
On this occasion, I wish that my comrade and mentor, Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, was here with us because the dream started with him. The revival of the Commander Sugar Plant was one of the major planks of our Better Ghana agenda. The inauguration of the Commander Sugar Factory will provide jobs. It is estimated that in full production, this project will provide direct and indirect jobs to an estimated 7,300 people. The current plant we see here is 1,250 ton per day mill. It means it's 250 tons bigger than the original plant that was here. So the capacity of this factory is 25% bigger than the original plant that we had here.
And your commission we anche ena ono no ofri aban mu. So we're all thinking so okay. E Ghana sika enyinyam bia e Ghana sika ena ye de akwakoye dwuma mu. Nti be bia free de na nka de adua ne se ye benya ahwede na ye de feed factory no. Se ne be ya bibia be kama. Nti se ahwede no kwa na nimanim ya no ye ntumi nnua nka ye nkra bi. Ye de ni nyamma ye no na nka ye use dia ye kra ye no se ne be ya ye betumi ayi production. Because machines no where they are cost carry until we have to do that. E was Mahama free abemu ananado buy. Nanado eko inspect the project no. Well yet in some bebre do baby nanado say projects na nkasa kra no send your musi ye no. I say sika no kra sondodo for projects na omo kano. Bananka di here ne say MPP aban ebetumi aye everything possible. Say ne be anka Commander Factory no nka it will run. But there was one banter against the other. In fact, stories upon stories upon stories. And omaka kire ya. Ebuso nti nanado abreso no. Ombeka kire ye say, although Mahama aye na famu de, but then omuntumi ma company no enrane, omuntumi ma factory no enrane. The main reason intia omuntumi ma company no enrane was because the kind of raw materials which is ashede a company no ebehia e dia rane no. Emu 7% pe enomanya. Nature say, omuntumi end commence operation. Omuntumi show operation I say, wa bra number of ahwede company no and a machine be here said be run no. Omuntumi nyaye. O de ade 1990 ene ye nyina ye jaho. Ti 1990 ye jaho na 2016. Obi a be revitalizing no why ade ne kama. Dia ka ne say wo de ma apafo enu ahwede. Pe asase na pafo enu ahwede. Eno na aka. Adodi say company no ahwede obehia e dey operation no omo enya inti Commander Sugar Factory entimi an sha ase we Kufuado abreso despite sika what say we have sika we are say we are say despite sika na what say okrom nyina no ye tue nya bi amfa makuafo amfa nkwankodo ahwede ebusua inti in August 2024 KT Harmon ebeka kire say there is no way a company no ebetimi arane that is Commander Sugar Factory no inti the best thing na betimi aye sa ban mu mpanimfo ne say ombe lease Commander Sugar Factory no e de amankofo betimi aye adwuma no. In this case, omukokori Indian investors be and from West African Agro Company Limited. So omona nkomomra, no momra major Commander Sugar Factory no from 15 to 20 years. Na omono emfa enye adwuma. Ntina kwa say the high omo from 15 to 20 years. Then after 20 years no, nanka Ghana yanka say akwaje ade.
Companies no ba say yesi awie na mo mahwe se mbetwa e boy gba o mo ba ka ho ana o mo ko o ba ka ho o mo ko say ma pe o gina ho ono na busu afro mo fi India na o mo so o mo ba hwe say de en ka kra bra ya bra ho ne yi no o mo ma hwe o betwa ai kama ye nti no ya fa ma won no ba ye nti na yi ya obi sam say o mo say I don't think you do a waha, yeah, once I said, baby, what baby, or think you do a video. Again, we are it's a bit of, but I'll say you want to say, we say, you do actually, and I bet me a yarn. I say, you bet me, I am Eddie, I want to because almost crack, maybe a brand of raw sugar. You know, you can get a brown sugar, I could be a brown, black, brown pie, thick. Say, now, over processing. How maybe you're calling me? You say, na at me if you tell me, maybe, yeah, I get video and one day I go. And then you go to a never say, I said, I almost say, I don't know.
This would say KT Harmon. No, be sound say, I didn't see a bibini crano. Like, what is our problem? Because all no say I don't want to mean yet. A dino one and feeding no I heard that can I de be yadiano, to mean ya a craft for out this cabe show mumaye. But all the Kokoma India for Indian investors. So mon rambe ya 9 and the aliens. Who feels I would want to make craft for no in ya I heard it. Mo de be feeding mo factory. But who feels Indian in the or no bet me about lands or Ghana. Now no assign for Ghana for say young concord dos I heard no. Neba was side ya kwaku feed your no new factory na waba bejeno. This Indian ni bet me I then and see one coin say KT Harmon Eden and I basic from then sector minister. So bet me a say Anka Commander Sugar Factory ebet me aye juma. I was fast forward in 2025. John Dramani Mahama was sayaba when ya power no. But then undoubtedly on 2016 okokwa ye insiesie no ye bibia. But then when to me and Kejantum ena the kwesi yesi ya itu no e di flu so na nado e bae 2025 another sector minister of trade and industries Madam Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejare oko share senior Commander Sugar Factory no etie in fact o say nampan ebeye di ebeye bia se na ebeya company no and as a factory no ebetimi aye adwuma
Yera Mahama eyi me se me soafo abehwe trade agribusiness and industry no oka kire me se wo gidi o mi mu se Commander Sugar Factory wa hye okatache ni mpanyimfo bo se beba so me nhwe na emra so entusha me be ye adwuma yi bosumi mienu kra mai enso maduru ha na maye hu meetings bebre kra ansa na me ba etimi ba ha yi mi ma de potin ya me behwe na bijina Yera Mahama anemu ahye okatache ni mpanyimfo bo se Commander Sugar Factory enchepi ebe shasi aye adwuma
I was going to wait in March 2025 and okoshia mpanimfo edit for him said obeye bibia be kama but Sugarcane Farmers Association for almost almost no in fact they are not happy because sector minister na ba be kasa almost Mahama Disa Mahama betimi aye because ono na obesiesie ebra obi ato ne peshi no Mahama e na oba be make sure say odi mfidie ni bi beba ni asay obeye ni ni won make sure say Commander Sugar Factory no ebe run bill but then it is quite unfortunate say ebra ye ready budget no o ma hu bibia ekasa fa Commander Sugar Factory ne ho. Ntina association ne de back na wa bolo no me July light one be what I say. But then that was just by the way. In fact, Central Regional Minister also edin komo extra say look, I am very happy say sector minister ne abaho. Now no ankasa de nani ko tware si a ne hwe santemu ababe hu dia ekoso e wo hono mo. But then areho so be say omo youth ni nyina no obi agane. Youth ni nyina obi na omo mbekwa abrochire ko. Omo mbe join kill net ne sa ne wane ma no so na edi omo akwa pie bokina ne ade nyina no ebi nso ko. What you say? Aha. Omo nso omo nya adwuma nya omo to omo braba asawra mo nso omo so ho. But ni nyina no senkasa company we ye adwuma factory we ye adwuma and employing for over 7,000 people. Hopefully ebianka area ni mu enclave ni mu nke ho be de kakra.
It's back at work. I'm very, very, very happy today that I've seen the Minister for Trade and Industry over here. It is good that she's come to see the situation of the factory, how it is, where we are so far. We have the land. There are lots of people who have pledged to give us the land for us to do the job. What we need is for injected finances for this factory to go on. What is sad is this: if you look at Commander Edina Egwafu Abrim, all our kids are outside. Either they are in Takoradi or Accra, or some of them even outside the country looking for jobs. Whilst we have a factory over here that can give us at least 7,500 jobs, why are we not operationalizing this? Anyway, I understand. We built it and we are going to make sure that it works again.
So all your video we up to this point, my question is this. Adentina, Ghana ha, esitra ye kra, edeba on my wimu, aye di, aye almost over $500 million. Esika enye de kofaba. Nti imagine say, anka yankasa ye wo ye de, anka sa sika we nyina nkete o man ni mu. What I say, kasa sika we aye ka ho asemi, nkete o man mu. But say mama, any minister, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosajare say they are going to initiate the Feed the Industry project. Nti say ne you know, yet wa yen say there is going to be something a project eba be da ho na dream trimba no ho. So every factory ayewo e okro we mu bia no, there is going to be a clear cut planner. Ye be fast strategically na yet me feed those companies, those factories, Said the bear bit me raw materials. Ama company are running 24 hours around the clock. Though I have my reservations, but you see, at least the steps that has been made, let's commend the president. Let's commend him because yenya adudi our better so 8 years. Mahama now at least o make a certain mover. Why are they? But my problem is that adentina yet to crow we na de bia ye dwene say broni dia beje ade na obetimi aye. But ye na de ne ye ndia said before no ye de bia your problems. Enti say ye wo ya ade na ye ntumi nya aye se ye nton. San ye de san ye to Ghana Telecom ena wa be telecom no. Ghana Telecom ye de san ye ton Ghana property ye ntimi anhwe so say in a sense Romeo I wo ho kire say Airtel Tigo I no so ye state property no eno so ye pese ye ton omo ve ya ye tsa se telecom be so omo to telecom be so to ba na eko that didn't no man no ye ntimi hwe ya de so agi say ye ton a sector a private individual na private individual no say be mu say de nya do ono no nya adwene ni bi na that cheap. So what is our problem? Say sugar factory no yen de nim say yentumi nya ahwede mfama no na say ye ton say be bu say benya do sa West African one company na ono ba beji sa Indian company no ono no ahwede no o be free heaven and now be crab free space. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes we have to be so focused enough. Sometimes we have to think about our own selves a bit. The leaders should make sure say they have the interest of the ordinary people at heart. That is all that we are asking for. Because Secretary Hammond then, as a sector minister, anything you're not saying to me, dressing case or catch a say, I dare no omun to me, and I dare no crano, send omun na be oho, but then omo person omun farm, omun lazy, omun farm high Indian company there. Nani bisame say Indian company no. Inye nipa na rani ana. Ti se nipa na moja ne nsuo na edi afusane woni mu no, ebetimi aye ni ye a. Aden no man muni nyina ye ntumi nya ade ni ye. And we are saying say we have leaders in this country. Ye nim se mebru nso sun for adwuma. Whereas we know say sa company we yetumi ya. I am fan nipa kra betimi afan for almost like 8,000. 8,000. Enye adwuma ketwa. 8,000 job for the people. And just think about nkofo man kasa so be wagin say oh me wo me land bi ma me fa nua hwede oh me wo me land bi ma me fa nua hwede eno krampo nka 8,000 no. Let's talk about direct employment. 8,000. See, when we would out in our comment section, I say, me want to saw mine yare, but it's about time, 4 no, or more to a banner, ya to a banner. It's about time I was a young see shen yama papa beer, near nipani bits me any division, Nayam Fanto, rather than sentiment. This is Dynamic TV Plus, and this is What's Up Today. Ebusia, Mapong.
Family 3940, guess what? You are watching Dynamic TV Plus. Keep on watching, subscribe, share, then leave your comments. One time, good luck.